One of the more versatile commands within AutoCAD is going to be the extend and the trim commands. So if we look at just the extend command first, so if we just at its most basic level select one line, then click enter and then extend, we can do that type of operation. So obviously if we choose that, we can also extend multiple lines to that. If we look at extend, there's also an option to select all. So if we select everything in here, what this will allow us to do is extend lines in either direction. So we can extend lines to each other. Also within that command, so if we do extend and then we select all, and then hit enter, there's also, you see it says shift select to trim. So if you hold shift, we can actually go in and now we can trim lines out, which is really convenient. So you can actually do, we can do extends just by clicking, and then if we hold shift, we can actually get rid of certain parts of that line. The same thing goes for the trim command, so we can do trim and then we can select all, click enter, and then it's shift select to extend. So if we hold shift here, we can extend all of these lines up, and then we can use just let go of shift and we can actually use the trim. So we can use trim and extend within the same command, which is really nice. Another command that I use quite a bit to do operations like this is going to be fillet. So fillet at its most basic level, if we select one object, so if we select one object, let's go with this. So select this as our first object, select that as our second. It's just going to make these into one line by default. So if we look at some more options within fillet, we have radius and we have multiple. So these are two that I like to use. So radius, what this will allow us to do, so let's say we type 0.25. What radius will allow us to do is actually put a little radius on there. Now if we want to get rid of this, go into your fillet, type radius and type 0, and what that will allow you to do is just do these as a normal line instead of having a little radius on there. So we can do this for angled lines also. So obviously if we come in here, there will be no radius on that either. The last one we're going to go over is going to be a multiple. So if we click on multiple here, what that will allow us to do is actually do the operation multiple times without going back into it. So here in this case, what we'll end up doing is actually just making a rectangle out of this, and that's useful so that you just don't have to keep doing the operation over and over and over again. So I like to use fillet. I use it pretty often, and it seems to work really well. The only thing it wouldn't work for is if you want to maintain this rectangle and also extend up to those. That would end up having to be an extend. So here we do an extend. We'll choose this as our boundary. We'll extend all of these lines up, and then we'll extend all of these lines down, and that's how you would go through and do that.